Hello and welcome to episode 267 of the Veeam Community Recap. Believe it or not, we're in normal circumstances. I cannot believe it. I am Rick Vanover. Hello, if you haven't watched before, and I'm joined by Madalena Christille. Maddie, how are you doing today?
Hello, Rick, and hello, community. I'm doing great and glad to be back in normal circumstances. I think it's been a while. So
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I was just explaining. We had two U.S. holidays relatively close to each other, so I kind of put like vacations on each end of it. I'm not going to do that again. That's just really hard. And then, let's throw a work trip in last week, so that was why I joined remotely. So from our Atlanta center, but I've been busy, including vacation. You're recently back from vacation. That's always a good investment, but the
Yeah,
community has been active.
very active. And, we have plenty to talk about today. And I'm super excited about a few things that we are going to mention. We have a bunch of pictures to share as well. Some big thanks in there, for some people that supported us with some initiatives. So I would say, let's go for it.
All right, let's go. Let's see if I did that right. Look at that, pretty smooth. Okay.
Yeah.
First up is Jason Orchard talking about a free browser based tool to review a Veeam backup and replication environment using the VMC log file. That one tells all. What caught your eye about this one, Maddie? I got a few opinions as well.
Yeah, this is a great project. I know I've seen few emails going back and forth between you and the AZ in our team. So I know you supported him in this, but it seems like it ended up, to be a successful project. I saw a lot of comments from the community um, that says pretty cool project. So I have to agree. But yeah, if you ever had to review basically a Veeam environment by digging through a VMC.log, you know that this can be pretty time consuming. So this community built tool, Jason built tool called Veeam Advisor, it seems like it's parsing the log and gives you like a clear overview of your environment. And then it gives you that includes the proxies and then the repositories, retention settings, security posture, and it's even sizing recommendation, and then best practice check. So I think it's pretty comprehensive. And I also like that, everything runs locally in your browser, so the log never leaves your machine. So I think this is pretty important as well. And as Jason mentioned, this is not an official Veeam tool, so you should still kind of validate everything with the official calculators, best practices. But I think overall, this is really useful. It's a great way to speed up, those first assessments and, even plan conversations. So yeah, you said you have a lot of opinions on it, especially because you supported with it. So I'm really curious to hear about it.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Jason. This is a fantastic asset. And we were talking about this. I'm like, first of all, this is cool. Um, and we decided let's treat this like a second opinion, an additional opinion, right? And what I really like is that you can take this VMC log file, right? This is the log file that tells all. And to this point here, you can just feed it into PowerShell, right? So that you can just take it and then really outside of the environment, right? Just pick up and get information from that file. So I really like all of this as a great supplement to the calculators in the theme of having a second opinion. And I I think I've got a new phrase, by the way, Maddie, control effing my way around. I love this in the sense that, if you're looking through a log file, it's like you're just control effing away looking through stuff. And trust me, that's not a cuss word, but it is very close to sounding like one. And I really just like that because that's what you just don't want to do. You don't want to just be constantly looking through these low level files. So I think it's awesome. So folks, give it a look. And let's see if we can, I'll go real quickly. You can get it here in GitHub. And then also here's just, You can pull it in just like that, right? You can pull in the file and get the analysis. So yeah, I should probably have pulled my file out so I could have done it real quick. But we got a lot to cover, so I don't have time. But you get the point. You browse into that file, and then you'll be good to go, right? So thank you, Jason. Fantastic stuff.
I agree. Awesome.
All right, next up is Esteban getting in World Cup fever with golazo, as we say in Argentina when you score a great goal, with Kasten in the backup market. So what caught your eye on this one other than a cool picture of a semi-famous situation and the trophy
Messi,
to be
yeah.
had? Yeah.
I have to admit, while you were talking about Jason's project, I had to Google and see what are Argentina's results so far in the World Cup. And I can see they are kind of leading the way, a lot of wins in there. But yeah, awesome, Esteban. Obviously, you're Argentinian, you're going to talk football, and you love Kasten and OpenShift and yeah, Kubernetes. So that's great. I really think that this article was pretty good and fun to read. Um, yeah, he's calling it golazo, as you said, as they do in Argentina. And basically, he's framing this Kasten release as a big win. He's talking about Kasten V9, and he talks about how this version pushed to unify VM and container protection on Kubernetes. As I said, especially with the OpenShift virtualization now becoming a production reality in mixed workloads. And on the back side, he's talking as well about the key improvement that uh, brings a lot of efficiency with it. Hypervisor level change block tracking by OpenShift Virtualization's APIs, meaning only change blocks are backed up instead of full disks, and that reduces load and shortens backup windows. It also adds CSI based CBT, which extends incremental efficiency across both VMs and containers in a storage agnostic way. And then he also talks about operational simplicity, label-based VM policies. Protection becomes basically dynamic instead of manually mapping every VM into jobs or the namespaces. And then he talks as well that on the restore side, it goes beyond basic VM recovery with file level restores, individual disk recovery, and VTPM support, which basically matters for the modern secure VM workloads. And I think this is a really solid, article about, how Kasten is basically moving toward the single Kubernetes native protection model for both VMs and containers. So yeah, this is a good one. We also posted, in the product updates, we also posted what's coming next for the V9. So if you want, more information and resources, there are links to resources there, so you can find out more. But yeah, thank you, Esteban, and I guess I'll see you in few months now, couple of months in Argentina.
Yeah, so a lot to unpack here. Number one, the Kubernetes capabilities that we have with the Kasten product are truly fantastic and world class, much like the World Cup. I think that's a good way to kind of explain the power here. And version 9, as you mentioned, covered in the product updates. Also, we have a video. I'll put it in the link in the recap about that Kirsten and Matt Bader just did in a Tech Bytes episode where they walk through version 9. So what's new? So yeah, world class, World Cup. That's it. Just like backups. Thank you, Esteban. All right, number 3 on the list, last of our featured content. We still got a lot of tabs, pictures, and more to go through. Andreas Bullman is up with like a really thorough, highly visual. I'm going to have to scroll fast because it's long. Subscription versus rental licensing model, choosing the right model for backup and monitoring. This is something we don't talk about a lot, licensing.
Yeah, that's true. And Andreas, he's usually talking more architecture and features, but it looks like he took a step back now, and he's looking at something that not us necessarily, but like in general, I think companies and people in general treat this as procurement, the subscription versus rental licensing. So yeah, he goes over Veeam backup and replication, Veeam 1, Veeam backup for Microsoft 365. And he talks about how the choice actually affects things like scaling, billing, even how cleanly you can monitor everything together, if you choose a subscription versus rental licensing. So the interesting point that he makes in here is that subscription tends to fit more stable environments, while rental is really about flexibility. Basically, we talk monthly changes, service providers, more dynamic workloads. And there's also, he warns us in a way. He says, that sometimes mixing models can actually get messy, especially, and I'm not talking about Argentina Messi, just Messi, especially, when you try to centralize monitoring in Veeam 1. So, probably licensing isn't just a commercial decision. Maybe we should look at it not just a commercial decision, and actually look at it like something that can shape how you run and operate your environment day to day. So I think that was a great one to read. And thank you for bringing this topic up, Andreas.
Yeah, and I think this is something that is really important because right here, 3.2, if your environment grows in spikes or fluctuate heavily, then rental is really the better option, right?
Hmm.
So I think that, there's a lot of really good points here. And the overage, there is some protections if you do go overage over your allocation. I get that. So I think this is cool. So definitely check this out. There's some information about the grace period and overages if you do go over. But yeah, I like this checklist. This is a
Hmm.
good way to kind of decide which way to go. So yeah, like I said, we don't really talk about licensing much, and true story. I write my own licenses, right? So I don't have much actual hands-on experience with the different behaviors. So this perspective is really unique. So thank you, Andreas, for sharing.
Absolutely.
All right, now it's time. Gather the kids. It's time for the Vanguard Blog Spotlight. And this week we are happy to feature again Ben Harmer with a really cool topic on universal CDP protecting critical workloads. This one, I like this a lot.
Hmm. I know you said again Ben Harmer, but I can tell you we haven't mentioned him in at least 4 or 5 episodes. But
Maybe
it
I
feels
say
like we
again because
always
I've
do.
already read it. I read his blog. What can I say? He's a
I mean,
smart guy.
his articles are awesome, so they deserve to be mentioned in here. So I have to pick it. I go over lists and articles, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. I have to mention it. So good job, Ben, with
Well,
that. But yeah,
also
this is
keep in
yeah.
mind sometimes I get all the Bens mixed up from New Zealand. Okay, so then I might be wrong, right? So
Yeah, I don't think you are wrong because he's a great writer and he picks really good topics. So yeah, but yeah, this one is actually really interesting piece of content, and yeah, he's walking us through on Universal CDP in Veeam Backup and Replication V13, and then he focuses on how CDP is evolving beyond its original VMware only limitation. So as we know, CDP was basically tight bound to vSphere. But Universal CDP introduces an agent-based model that extends continuous protection to physical and cloud workloads as well, not just VMs. So that's pretty cool. And the core idea here is the combination of a CDP agent and filter driver on the source side, with which captures I/O changes and CDP proxies on both source and target sides, um, to stream that data efficiently into the replica environment. So then this is a long one.
mm,
I'm just mentioning few points, but yeah, you're gonna scroll and scroll and scroll there. But yeah, Ben also goes over the full deployment flow, the protection groups, the proxy configuration, the IO filter installation in the vSphere, and then finally the policy creation where you define your RPO, even down to seconds, which is great, plus short and long-term retention for point-in-time recovery. So where it gets really interesting is like the failover. With near real-time recovery and the ability to choose restore points with seconds level granularity for very low RPO scenario. So that's really, really cool. And I really like it. I think this is kind of like a hands-on look at how Universal CDP is trying to make continuous replication more flexible, less platform bound, even if VMware on the target side is still a dependency today. But I think this is great, and I definitely advise everyone to read this one because it's very good.
If you're thinking about continuous data protection, especially the universal aspect that we have that's inside of a guest, this will absolutely tell you everything you need to know about it, including the failover. So, and right here, we have links to the documentation. So, this is just fantastic, and we're not even halfway through, yo.
Exactly.
This is crazy detailed. You
Yeah.
should sell this, Ben. Write it a book. You could call this a book.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is everything you need to know about Universal CDP. BenHarmer.blog, one of his recent posts. So thank you for that, Ben. All right, now it's time for special department news, and we've got a bunch. Let's start with VUG Spain. This one will be in Spanish. I translated the browser tab to English, but software-defined storage, that should be a fun topic.
Yeah, it looks like Louis and his guest, Iñaki, from Data Core, will discuss the software-defined storage. And then they gonna, from what I saw from the description, they gonna cover how the SDS portfolio like Symphony and Swarm integrates with Veeam and the modern backup environment. So I think this is gonna be pretty cool. I know you said like when you saw it, you were like, oh, I haven't this is interesting. I don't see that much at the hub. So good stuff. I mean, this is gonna be June 30. It's gonna be a packed day, as you're gonna see later on when we're gonna present
June 30 is a
all the
common theme.
events. Yeah, it is a common theme, It's just like everyone wants the same date somehow. It's just like three events in the same day. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, this is gonna be June 30th, so that's next Tuesday basically. It's gonna be as you said in Spanish, is gonna be
I guess 10 a.m. CET for that.
yeah, that's gonna be I think 10 a.m. Spain time, if
Well,
I'm
Spain
not wrong.
might be actually then that might be 9 a.m. because it isn't Spain not
Is
CET.
it?
I don't know.
I
Well,
don't
it,
know.
it tells you in your local time. Okay, this
Yeah, but
is your local time.
they are 1 hour behind me, so it says 11 a.m. for me.
So
So that means
so that is okay. That is 6 offset. Okay, you're right.
yeah,
So it is 10 a.m. CET.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Gracias Inaki. That's a cool name. Gracias Luis. All right. Keeping on the VUG theme, keeping on Tuesday the 30th, just a little bit later. This one will be an afternoon for VUG Ireland. First contact, Stephen, aka famous Irishman Seagrave, is hosting the VUG Ireland with Adrian from the Veeam team as well as Andre from our team. So this will be great.
I think so. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of good topics, as you can see in the agenda they already have. So they talk about Veeam accreditations, hypervisors, of course, AZ. Um, they are also touching on 13.1, so that's going to be
Yeah.
interesting. And then, yeah, of course, they're going to talk a little bit about the community and this new group. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, it's going to be on GoToMeeting as well, as always. 95% of the events we are hosting it on GoToMeeting. Sometimes people prefer to do it on Teams, but Yeah. You still have time to register. It's going to be in English, so everyone is welcome. As long as you are interested in those topics, you have some availability on June 13, around that time. Anyway, this is going to be, as all our virtual events, this is going to be recorded and then uploaded on our community hub playlist at the YouTube, and then it's going to be shared in the community hub, so you're going to have a chance to watch it. No worries.
Thank you, Stephen, for organizing, as well, Adrian and Andre for rounding out the agenda. Good stuff. I don't know where I came up with Stephen, aka famous Irishman Seagrave, but I kind of like it. All right.
Yeah.
Next up, this one really interesting, yo. The newest part of our portfolio, the security AI capabilities. Really, when we talk about what is data and AI trust, we're going to provide the definition here, explain that missing layer. So, Brad from our team, as well as Lucas and Khalid, two rockin' Germans, as well as Brad, will share some great information. And guess what? On Tuesday the 30th. In fact, so far, none of these are conflicting on the time. So you can
No, they
really
are
have
not.
like a Veemathon on this day if you wanted.
Oh, there was one more, the one that is next. It was supposed to be June 30th as well, but
Oh,
we've decided to move it.
oh,
So,
nice, nice.
but yeah, this is going to be a good one. Thank you, Brad, for taking the time to be with us. I know you have a busy schedule. Thank you, Lucas, for pushing, even though, everyone in the community knows that Lucas used to be our cybersecurity space leader just before he joined Veeam. But now he works with Khalid, closely with Khalid, to support him and being part of this group and making some great stuff. So thank you for that, and thank you, of course, Khalid, for leading this group. And yeah, you have time to join us. I can see there are already 25
Mm-hmm.
people that registered. Most probably I'm going to host this one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Rock on cybersecurity space team. So Khalid, Lucas, Brad as well. Thank you, and Maddie for hosting. This will be a good one, and as well, it'll be on the YouTube playlist. All
Yep.
right, next up is not June 30th, but it was going to be.
Exactly.
Jonah and Maurice are up with Automation 101, getting started with continuous integration and testing. So that's an interesting one because, you know, automation and continuous integration, this is actually pretty interesting because I think this is your next level automation type of journey. So
Mhm.
this is cool.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I loved all these series that they put together, that every month they do one automation desk event, virtual event. And what they are trying to achieve with that is kind of they are preparing for the hackathon. They are preparing the people that are going to participate in the hackathon, giving them best practices, tips and tricks. So I think that's great. So this is July 1st. This is going to be, I'm not sure the time, but
That'll
having your
be
time.
1800 CET. No,
Yeah, it should.
1600 CET. Sorry, bad
Yeah, it
math.
should be in the evening,
Yeah.
Europe evening, basically. So
Yeah.
good stuff, guys. Looking forward to watch this as well. You still have time to join it. I haven't seen how many
25. Yeah, good
registered.
crowd. Yeah.
Good crowd, 25 as well. It's a good number.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Yeah, and some friendlies and some new folks too. I love it when it's like new folks showing up,
Mhm.
right? Because
Yeah.
it's appealing to new folks as well as the existing folks. So thank you, Maurice. Thank you, Jonah. All right, next up, July 2nd, next day, we've got the Veeam 100 show. Now we'll discuss in a moment, but we have a new way to kind of promote it. It's not just a LinkedIn page that takes you to the LinkedIn page straight away. So looks like Matthias, Double D, and Maddie are up for a little bit of a success story about the Veeam infrastructure appliance and fiber channel proxy.
Yeah, this is basically a summer. Probably our community members, they already know that we usually bring customers of our Veeam 100 members, that are partners
Mhm.
of Veeam, and we talk about the successful story. But for July and August, we're going to have some special editions similar to what we did in the previous years, only that this year we only have one project for hackathon that's going to be in August. That's going to come, all that information soon. And because we found, this collaboration between our Veeam 100 member and product management that, basically the feedback that Matthias gave to product management brought, to the shape to shape some Veeam solutions. We decided to bring this as a special edition episode, and I'm really looking forward to host this and to have this conversation. And I want to thank both, Matthias and David and all our product management, that are kind of always, collaborating and taking our Veeam 100 and Veeam community members' feedback and, shaping the products in that way. So this is fantastic.
Yes, thank you, Matthias. Thank you, David. And this is truly an interesting one because Matthias was really pushing for the direct fiber channel storage proxy logic to be implemented in the 13.1 release. It is. So he is by far the most happy about that. And this will tell you the story of how the case was made and how the product was, adapted to support this. So looking forward to this one. Thank you. All right, episode 2 of the Oxford style debate is underway. If you have not heard it, and Madi, you picked a good one. Is tape dead or is it not? Let's debate.
Oh, yes, because David, again, talking about David Damask from product management, he helped me decide on the winners for episode 1. And then I was like, why don't you also help me, find something more debatable? Because last time, episode 1, people thought, it was a good topic, but, it was a lot of engagement. People loved the idea, but they were like a little bit too much in agreement, So we decided to bring something that is a little bit more debatable. So, yeah, cool.
All right. So, by the way, can employees win? And is there a badge?
You can get a badge, yes, for sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here
Everyone
I'm doing my response live here.
Yeah.
Why I am for tape for the following reasons. Let me tell you all the ways. One, acquisition costs cannot be beat. Most portable media. As far as I know, a worm tape outside of a tape library is let's make it bold and underline, only storage media that is both offline, air gapped, and immutable at the same time. So if I was to tell you 4 reasons for tape, those are my 3. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and send it, and we'll see. We'll see.
Now you cannot judge this. Just
No,
FYI.
I'm disqualified for judging.
There you go.
But here's the thing. I'll say everyone has a reason. Everyone has a story of tape letting them down. But I think you could also find the same around disk and surprises in the cloud as well. So now we'll have to see how this one goes. How long does it go to? When's the final call?
So all episodes are going to be a month out there, and everyone can, comment and add their, opinions. And I think this is going to go probably until, when did we post it? 3 days ago. That was, 22nd? So basically, I think it's going to go until the 20th or so, depending on when it's that Friday or Monday, something like that. So 20th of July, let's put it that way.
Love it. Love it. So a good series here. I love this. So great innovation. All right. Another one right from the desk of Madi, announcing the Rising Star program.
Oh, yeah. And we are very excited about this. This is a program that we've been discussing for 2 years now. Obviously, it takes so much work to put into this to create a new program. So it took us only 2 years to get here, but I'm very excited. This is a mentorship and guidance program. It's for members. As you can see, it's just a small group of, just 13 people. It's people that are technical. They are active either on the community hub. They work with Veeam solutions. They've been working with Veeam solutions for years now. And they work for partners or they are customers. It really depends. And they want to be part of our community and get more involved with community activities. And I always say rising star is the path um, to our program Veeam 100. So the idea is to have a 6 months mentorship program where we're going to put them in touch with vanguards and legends and MVPs. We're going to have some calls and uh, discuss best practices. We're going to have some calls with some technologists. We're going to have some product management, and we're going to discuss as well based on their interests of products. And the idea is to get them more involved, give them exposure to our ecosystem and to the community. And hopefully, after the 6 months, they're going to decide to apply for the Vanguard program, or they're going to become through their activity at the community hub, they're going to become legends. So I'm super excited. I think all of them have a lot of potential, and I'm really, really looking forward to work with them and help them, grow in the ecosystem.
Yeah, indeed. And so many of these names we've called on the recap in a couple different ways. So, really great innovation here. Looking forward to this. And it's a great opportunity for these folks. So, congratulations to, is it 12 or 13 or so? So, thank you all. And stay tuned for more on this one. All right. Believe it or not, that one wasn't on June 30th, but we are done with special department news, and it's time to pull up the other special department. And this one, we're going to tour a couple of the recent VMon tours. I didn't take any pictures in Munich. I'm bad. But the Munich one happened 2 weeks ago, but last week was VMon Tour Italy. Great community panel. Looks like all the V100 members were pulled up, and Danilo probably set up the nature of the program there. There's No Lab, No Party. There's Andreas. There's Antonio De Andrea. Marco Lovisi. Did I get the name right?
Yes,
All
yes.
right, cool. The more of the members, and they were also involved with some of the previews, and this was kind of cool. I even helped out on this. We had this nice kind of entryway where you walk through the timeline of history of Veeam in Italian, right? So that's kind of cool. So
Yeah, that's cool
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it looks good. And then also, not to be outdone by France, they had the Vimont Tour France, just I think the same week actually. And there's
Yeah.
Stabs and Siglemont right there.
Yeah, I mean, I heard from both teams, Italy as well as France, from the guys that it was successful. They talked to a lot of people. We had a lot of people that didn't know about the community, and they were excited to hear more things about the community. They joined the community hub, so this is always. Fantastic to hear. Actually, Marco sent yesterday a full report with it, so that's really great.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had goodies as well for this one. They actually had a passport. See that passport? That was like a community passport that Sophia created with Nelly from the marketing team, and it gave you information on our programs, and then you had to go to each of the sponsor desk and get a stamp, and then you would participate to a raffle, and you would actually get that car right there if you can see it on the box. So I think that was pretty fun for everyone to do. And yeah, we kind of created different experiences for different, Vimon tours, and we got a lot of good feedback from the members that were present there, from Germany, as you said, from Turkey, from France, from Italy. We are carrying on with that. We're going to have it in Latin America, more countries in Europe. And I just want to thank, really big thank you to all the field marketers in each country, as well as the systems engineers and the leaders there, like Danilo, that he's always like supporting community and the guys, and always include them in different events, and bring them to the stage, and creates those amazing moments that we can share with the rest of the community. So big thank you for that.
Yeah, and then actually you can even see it right here. It even says the upcoming VUG events, right? So 4 in the year. These guys are wild. I love it.
I know, right?
And one of them was actually today. We're recording on the Thursday. And one of them was earlier today. And thank you for the relay of the pictures, Carolina. In Marseille, the user group kicked off, and we had there's Stabs again. There's Kirsten and AZ and Glomo again. I don't think I've ever seen Glomo not in a jacket. Oh, what's going on?
It's hot.
Summertime. It's hot. That's true. That is heat wave through Europe for sure. So thank you, VUG France, and looks like Object First and Exagrid sponsored. Thank you both there. And Kirsten, AZ as well for engaging. It's funny. It might be the first time I've seen Kirsten have a presentation in French and English. So
I think that was very cool. Yeah.
All right, last up from the desk of Sophia, who's new. We're welcoming plus 132 new members, with one that was not found as cool usernames: Slime1, Mad Mac, and Toonies. Those are cutes. And then we may or may not had the French Vimontour kick someone in here with C'est moi. I don't know how to say that, but
C'est moi.
Oh, is that like, what's that? Blowing a kiss? What is
it's
that?
Me. It's me. Oh, it means it's me.
It's
me.
Moi. Oh, okay. Look at you. Madi, Earth Citizen. I love it. Awesome. So, all right, friends. Well, hey, we have covered a lot, and we both have to go kind of hot. So I think we're going to leave it right there.
Yeah, that was a fun one. It was a lot of amazing content to cover, and really looking forward to the next weeks. I'm not sure if you're going to be normal circumstances.
No, I won't.
You never know.
That's next week's problem. Come on. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week somehow, some way.